Dr. Sampson Davis, George Jenkins Jr., and Rameck Hunt made a pact when they were just teens in high school. They'd be there for each other through thick, thin, and medical school. They were all inner-city kids growing up without a dad. This morning, they tell us about how they were able to forgive and reconnect with their fathers. It's in their new book entitled The Bond. Good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Rameck, let me start with you. Why was this important? Why did you want to finally tell a story about your relationship with your father?
You know, me and my dad had reconnected before we actually wrote this book, but there were so many questions that I had, and so I couldn't figure out a way how to ask him. And like, did he really want me? And you know, all those sorts of questions. And so I felt that this would be a way to talk about it and go on this journey. And I asked Sam and George if they wanted to be a part of it, and they said yes. And so that's kind of how we started this book.
Now, Sampson, your father was violent. Mm-hmm. Did you ever feel resentment towards him for how he treated your family and your mother?
Yeah, I mean, it was more of a lack of understanding. I don't know why he behaved the way that he behaved towards us. And when he finally left the household when I was 12, he divorced the whole family. But throughout the process, I had unanswered questions, and I wanted to see, did he want me there? Did he love me? Did he think about me? And that's what forced me to sort of put this book together.
Well, I think this story is not unique. You know, I grew up without a father, and I had my twin brother who was there for me all the time, but you still feel a void sometimes. There's certain things that you don't experience because your father's not there. George, how did you fill your void, or how did you know that a void needed to be filled?
It took a while. Initially, just noticing my friends who had their complete families at home, when they would come back and talk about things that they experienced with their dads, it would just make me feel empty a little bit and a little sad that I didn't get a chance to experience it. But I filled the void with these guys and other examples. Our friendship filled the void, as well as other examples in the neighborhood. I got a chance to meet some really good quality mentors at the boys club and things like that.
You guys don't have kids yet, but how important is a father-son relationship in the development of a child?
I think it's vitally important. I mean, a lot of times we think that the mother is the only essential ingredient to raising a child, but a father is absolutely important, and that's why we wanted to write this book, because, you know, our fathers tell their stories, and you get to learn from their mistakes, and you get to learn from our stories, and so we hope that we can start a dialogue with this book.
It's all about confidence. It's about learning how to shave, tie a tie. How did you guys figure out those things? Because a lot of kids who grow up without fathers, they don't have that.
It's difficult. You have to really just look within yourself and just not let any of those obstacles get you down. Because I didn't know how to tie a tie, even in dental school, and I had a professor who, the professor mandated that we wear a tie before we come into his class. So I had to really rush and find one of my classmates to show me. So each instance or each obstacle I ran into, I had to kind of be resourceful, use my environment, try to get that lesson and move forward to the next lesson.
This book is unique in a way because your fathers get a chance to talk, George and Rameck particularly. What was it like to hear your father's story? Did it change your thoughts about him or why he was the way he was?
It really filled a void for me. I didn't know that I had this hole in my heart that after reading his story, it actually healed. I mean, my father talked about how he was proud of his son being able to, you know, be a doctor and write books, and you know, but he said to someone, you know, but I couldn't really take a lot of credit for that, and like I really got to know his side of the story and what he was thinking about, and so it was really interesting and insightful for me.
This book is about father and son, Sampson. Does this apply to all kinds of relationships with kids?
Absolutely. I think it's for fathers and sons, but it's also for mothers and daughters. We open ourselves up. Our mothers share stories, or we relate stories about our mothers, about our siblings as well. So it's a journey. It's a journey of healing, and we'll put it out there, and hopefully it will help to heal a lot of people in a lot of homes.
Sampson Davis, George Jenkins, Rameck Hunt, thanks for joining me this morning. I appreciate it. The book is called The Bond. We'll be back in a moment, but first, this is Today on NBC.